Previously on Chief Concerns.
Well, shit, it was 2020. I had a New Year's Eve party, and I woke up about 3 o'clock in the morning. I was short of, I couldn't breathe. Went to the fire station across the street, not too far from my house, and my blood pressure was like stroke level, and my oxygen level was really low. So I went to the hospital, and Piedmont Hospital here in Atlanta. They told me my kidneys was functioning about 20%, and I need to go on dialysis ASAP. And pretty much I've been on dialysis every day. Not every day, but ever since. I'm on it like 3 days a week for like 4 hours.
It's the corner where the treats at.
Is this the passing of the torch, right? Is this what this signifies?
It comes down to that front office and what they feel is most important.
The champ is here. We've touched down from a higher plane. Why you made it here?
We always look forward to that week because it was always intense.
You know that we ain't coming back. We about to.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dante Hall. My favorite player growing up was Dante Hall. I love you guys in the show, but Dante was my guy.
Get to dashing because you done on the warfare.
This episode of Chief Concerns is brought to you by BetOnline.AG. July is underway and a great month for sports. If you're into sports betting, BetOnline is where you should go to win money today. With the NBA Finals in the books and the MLB heading into the second half of the season, there's plenty of betting action to get involved in. If you're a football bettor, there are tons of futures and props you can wager on as well. BetOnline has all the latest odds, news, and information for all your online sports betting needs. So visit the website today or use your mobile device to join and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. So before the next tip-off, face-off, or pitch, head on over to BetOnline and start playing today. BetOnline, your online sportsbook experts. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Chief Concerns. I'm here with our host, Eric Warfield, former cornerback. How you doing, buddy?
What's going on, my man?
Nothing much, man. Just getting ready for the Olympics tomorrow. I thought we weren't going to have an Olympics based on the last few weeks of different COVID outbreaks on certain different sports and stuff, but I'm excited, man.
Yeah, I mean, this is at that point of the summer to where, you know, after the NBA Finals, you got to try to find something on TV. Football hasn't fully kicked in. Baseball is kind of almost at its midpoint. And I don't get into baseball until it's playoffs.
Yeah.
So other than that, we don't really have anything on TV. So good thing the Olympics are on because we don't have anything now.
For sure. Well, besides, obviously, you and I are big basketball fans, but besides basketball, what are some of the sports you like watching on the Olympics?
Oh, man. So with the Olympics, I enjoy it all. I just love to see the best of the best when they're going at it. You know, obviously you can't catch everything. And usually it's like an all-day event, so nobody really gets to watch all of it. For the most part, I enjoy it all because, you know, it's always good just to see the best against the best.
Yeah, for sure. Like as far as like during sports during the year, it's like watching. I never watched any of the national championships or the world championships of swimming, gymnastics. I never watched that stuff. But when it comes to Summer Olympics, I'm tuned into those two sports. So those are two of the sports outside of like basketball. Those two are just phenomenal athletes, man.
There is. I mean, all of it is, and but they have shit. I mean, like, what's the number of events that they have? I mean, does anyone know that?
I don't know, man. There's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
And it's good though. A lot of options, a lot to choose from too.
That's true. I just for the first time saw today because I was a high jumper, and I think going back in my days, the highest I ever got was 6'11". That's the highest I ever got, which is pretty good for me. And I saw today there's a guy that's in San Marcos, Texas, that's out training kids for whatever purposes. He has the record at 7'10".
Wow.
I'm like, man, that is crazy. You can jump over a height of 7'10".
That's crazy. Yeah, no, I never got to the jumps for tracks. I just did sprinting. I tried doing the triple jump one time, and I was really bad at it.
It takes a lot of work. A track isn't easy, you know. I know it's just a matter of whatever talent that you have, you're going out and trying to, give it your all. But it is, once you really see what's out there that you're competing against, man, it makes you think twice about getting out there with some events.
Yeah.
Now, I was lucky and fortunate enough that I learned how to run hurdles, and that didn't take speed. That was just more of a technique trying to get across the hurdle. So I wasn't the fastest guy out there running the hurdles as far as speed wise, but I had, pretty good technique that actually won me a state championship.
Oh, wow. Holy crap. That's awesome. I had no idea. I knew you were a superb athlete in high school. I had no idea you won states in hurdles, man.
Yeah, I was back-to-back state champ in the hurdles and the high jump.
Holy crap! What, junior, senior year?
Yep.
Damn. And did you do hurdles and track like when you were younger growing up, or was that just high school?
I did not. So hurdles was actually the event that brought me out of my shell of an athlete. I want to say it was either my 9th grade year, and the coach asked me to just, he wanted me to participate in hurdles for no odd reason. And I was just bouncing, jumping over the things. And he's like, no, there's a technique to it. And so he was teaching me how to do the lead leg, trail leg, just standing in place. And so I learned that within 10, 15 minutes. And afterwards, I kind of figured it out. Once he got my steps down to where you're coming out the blocks and however many steps it's going to take to get over that first hurdle with that lead leg, it just got me out of this little shell of a shy kid that I was forever. And then the rest of the athlete just came out. And heck, I was pretty decent in basketball at that time. After that, really good at football, and track was my thing. And lo and behold, I don't know how I got drafted by 2 Major League Baseball teams. And I hadn't played baseball since, I want to say 8 or 9 years old. So, but I guess they saw the potential that I had. So
that's crazy. Wow. Now I know as far as basketball with the Olympics, I know that's the America's big thing. They lost Australia, they lost to Nigeria. They've also had, to bring in some guys because of COVID. Do you think that America will place gold? Would you, if you would?
Yeah, I think we will. It's disappointing to see that they did have these losses, but you can't sleep on a lot of these other countries. I mean, because we got some all-star players and some great talent that are playing with these teams that that they're fortunately here in the United States playing on NBA teams, and then they have to go out and represent for their country. So there's some talent out there, and the talent pool is not as easy as it was back when you had the Dream Team and then those guys, and then Kobe's teams came after that. So, but I just think that we have way too much talent when it comes down to putting it all on the line.
Yeah. I mean, it seems they lost to Nigeria and Australia. Those are both packed full with the NBA players. So, people try to make it seem like that those are bad losses. I mean, those aren't. If you know basketball, you know who those guys are. Yeah, those aren't bad losses, but America shouldn't be losing to those teams.
Yep.
But so we're going to go into it with the Chiefs stuff. Last week, we dedicated our show to Jelly Roll Lionel Dalton. We got a lot. It was great. Our show got a lot of traction, and I know a lot of news outlets hit me up to talk to Lionel. So I really hope that our episode can help him spread his word. That's what he's going through.
Yeah, great guy.
He's great. It was awesome to get to talk to him, get to know him a little bit last week. But this week we're going to roll into some Chiefs stuff as we get closer to training camp. I know everyone's favorite time. About a week from now, stuff will be beginning. But so this week, our first concern comes with a new signing. We brought back a familiar face in a defensive end, Alex Okafor, as a means of depth in case something does happen with Frank Clark's suspension that's imminent. People think that's going to happen at some point here soon. But they brought back Alex Okafor. Last 2 years, he's had somewhat of injury problems, but he still managed to pile up about 8 sacks over the last 2 years. Now, Do you think, and some fans are upset because the day before Melvin Ingram got signed by the Steelers, and that was a guy we brought in months ago. We had talked about on the show as a possibility of, having depth at the DN outside backer situation. Do you think the Chiefs missed out on Melvin Ingram, or is it better to bring back a familiar face?
I think Melvin's a great talent. He's an really, really good talent. Now, did we have the cap space to sign someone of his talents, though? We brought in the big guy from Baltimore, and then whatever we did with the draftees and unrestricted guys and other guys we've had to sign. I don't know if we had enough money to sign Ingram, though. If we did, I would have loved to have had him. He's a proven guy, still young, hustler around the corner. Not the biggest, but he gets around and he makes the plays that are needed. So, I like to see him gone, not with Bosa anymore, because those two were definitely a threat on the outside. But if we had the money to afford him, I would have loved to have gone after him. Like I said, still a young talent, still a force on the outside. But congrats to him in Pittsburgh. Now, Okafor, 8 sacks over the last 2 years doesn't sound like a lot. Maybe he's good enough to hold up for whatever's to come with Clark. So nobody knows what's going to happen so far, and maybe he has a chance here with the swapping in and out play with Chris Jones to get a fresh kick and to relight a fire up under him. Because you think about 8 sacks over 2 years doesn't sound like a lot. But there's a reason he's still in the NFL, because I think he's still got something in the tank. So hopefully he has enough to give us at least 8 in the season. So, 8 in the season, I'd be happy with that.
Yeah. So back to the salary cap question. So the Chiefs had about $8.5 million to spend. Ingram is signed for $3 or $4 million. So there was money there, but I've read online that some people think that maybe Veach is waiting for training camp cuts to see what guys he can maybe bring in.
What did he sign for?
$3 or $4 million for 1 year.
Wow.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought he was an all-pro player. Or was he just overshadowed by Bosa?
I think over the last few years he's kind of been slipping just because he's been injured a lot, and I think that's been a big part of the problem. I think last year he had 0 sacks, but he also he had injury problems over the last few years. So I guess as he's getting older, the body starts to break down a little bit. But $3 to $4 million is kind of when I saw it, I was kind of surprised by that, because I would have thought we would have jumped on a contract like that for a talent like Melvin Ingram. But what are the pros to bringing back someone who knows the system, a guy who's been on the team for 2 years, instead of bringing in Melvin Ingram and having to reteach him what we do on the squad?
It's not hard going into switching from team to team. Defenses are going to be defenses on every team. It basically changes with the literature. How the defensive coordinator is going to reword certain defenses or certain calls. But your edge rushers are going to be the same. Your gaps and all are going to be the same. It's the same with the secondary. When I went from Kansas City to New England, everything was basically the same. You might have a blitz package that's labeled differently, but it's going to be the same blitz package. So there's not a lot that's going to change. It's just a matter of just learning the literature. So having him come back, knowing a lot of the guys that he played with are still there, it helps. You get that camaraderie still, when you get it back. And, it can instill a bit of confidence in you that you didn't have with the previous team. But, if it's injuries that have kind of haunted him, that's kind of the thing that he's got to watch out for, though.
All right, we got our correspondent down in Mexico right now, our tight end Jason Dunn coming here from Mexico. Jason, how are you doing, buddy?
Good, I'm good. Buenas noches.
El Viva la Mexico.
Long live Mexico. Absolutely. Wonderful down here.
How's your Spanish?
Ooh.
Piquito. Right here on the water, as you can see.
That's nice.
So I understand it better than I can speak it. So
that's why I'm at. Does wifey help you out a lot with that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So listen to every conversation that comes in. I'm very fan. So getting every single word down I could get. I'm like, okay, I got to learn this. So
Yeah.
You know how it goes. Yeah, got to get it in, man. How y'all doing?
I'm good. You working on your tan, or is it just the lighting?
Both. So it's the lighting in here. You know, they keep it nice and low because it's, you know, nice and intimate, and you know, we got a group of about 10 people down here, so it's wonderfully in the mood. I'll say that, being relaxed, and they make sure they don't miss a beat on that. So it's been exquisite just being down here.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Well, I love the get up. I love the button down you got going on right there. I love it.
Tommy Bahama.
Yeah. My little get up. This might be like I don't know, maybe like a $5 special. I'll make it look good though, E. I'll make it look good, Mark. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, you do.
This is true. Well, JD, I was asking Eric about the fact that we brought back Alex Okafor this week, our D-end. And I was just asking him because a lot of Chief fans were upset that we didn't bring in Melvin Ingram. We ended up going with the guy because Melvin Ingram signed the day before. We ended up bringing our old guy back, Alex Okafor, who's had 8 sacks over the last 2 years. And I was asking, what are the pros in bringing back a guy who already knows the system instead of going to get somebody else who we'd have to reteach everything to?
I mean, you said it right there. You know, it's you know, when you're familiar with a guy who understands how the system works, he knows the people in the room, people that's coaching him. That comfort level is key. It's so important in the NFL too. So you got a guy who's coming who, you know, if you got Melvin Ingram in, you know, learning the whole system, getting to know who he is, his personality, his character, down this guy who was pretty much family. You know, you look at it, he's been here. It was an easy choice for them. It's an easy choice. So I think, you know, when you have a chance and opportunity to get a guy that has been in the system before, you got to take it. So, yeah, that's huge.
Did y'all just hear all the sirens just came by my place?
Mm-mm.
Oh, good. That thing was loud.
All right. Okay, so our next one. So this is one thing that everyone always talks about. As we get closer to training camp, everyone's looking at certain battles and certain position battles on the team. And I guess as we get close to the season and next week really is when it begins, what are the position battles you're most excited to see going into the season?
I'm looking at the quarterback position because I'm just joking. I think the wide receiver core is probably going to be the thing that, you know, that'll be mostly watched. I mean, I know Nicole Hardman has been placed as a starter opposite of Tyreek Hill, but I think those guys are gonna push him, you know, and it's mostly because, you know, of the years that he's been here, he's done a lot for the team. I won't take that from him. It's just my perception. I just haven't seen enough out of him to say he's that guy. I like him all around because he's a, you know, pretty good receiver and he does well for us special teams, but just being a starter at the receiver, I haven't seen enough of him yet. So I'd like to see what the other guys are doing, you know, and how they're pushing him, either for him to get better or for them to take over the spot.
Yeah, I had to agree. Without a doubt, you're going to be watching that position as closely as possible. And like I said, with those guys in the room who have similar, skill sets, then you're really thinking, okay, who's going to be the guy that's come out, like you said, number 2, especially in this offense. But like I said, this is a transitional offense, so anybody you can plug in these guys is number 2 in. I mean, you really can. But I like Robinson. You know, is Powell making enough noise to come in? That's what you're asking, right? So that's definitely a battle, you know, wide receiver. But then also too, you had to think offensive line. That's another, of course, group that you're looking at. Who's going to be the starters? Who's going to be the top 5 guys coming out of that room? Who's going to be putting the pads on and starting from day one, putting their hand in the dirt? So it's going to be a great battle with the guards. We like to think that the center is on lock, you know, with Creed, you know, having a lock at the position. But, you know, I mean, you never know. You never know. But like I said, you usually won't draft a guy that high unless you think he's going to start for you. And so I'm looking at him to start unless Blythe just outplays him. If he just outplays him just outright, then you got to have it. Especially a guy that's coming in who's been in the league before, who understands how the NFL works. Going against the great ones. Like I said, he had to go against Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald.
Yeah, every single day. So you ain't gonna get no better than that as far as work. And I'm trying to think what else. Another group that you got to watch. Well, I tell you what. I'm looking at all the free agent guys that we got in the secondary, right? Where they're going to fit in, where they're going to get their niche, what they're going to do on special teams. How many reps are they going to get? Now, I don't know as far as like them coming in as one, but we talked about maybe like nickel eat. You know what I'm talking about? That special package of coming like that, that you could kind of look at these guys making at least a run for, saying like, look, I'm going to be that nickel back and etch it in for the rest of the year. So that's huge. That's huge.
Yeah, you mentioned the offensive line, so there's a lot of battles in the offensive line that I'm looking at. It's the Creed Humphrey Blythe situation with Kyle Long being injured that kind of opens up Trey Smith versus Tardif for the right guard position, and then you got Niang versus Mike Remmers for the right tackle situation. So that right side's pretty much an open battlefield right there. So that'll be interesting to see. And another one was which I've been reading all offseason, that they say that a training camp casualty could be Anthony Hitchens. Now that's if Nick Bolton steps up, that could happen. And yeah, I'm just curious to see what happens with that, with the middle linebacker situation. Everyone thinks Hitchens is kind of a lock to be cut if he gets outshined by the young buck, Nick Bolton. So,
well, look, always happens every single year. A guy becomes a casualty because of, look, is he too expensive to pay? Is a guy we want to keep around for that amount of deal, for the season. And usually when you're a veteran, of course the league tries to protect you somewhat by giving you a little bit of the contract. But something like he's getting paid, I don't think that'd be an issue without a doubt. But I'm thinking, Bolton's gonna come in, man, and he's gonna light it up. I really do. Like I said, he's another guy who's a top pick. He's got to start. You got to play him right away. You're not going to put a guy like that on the bench. There's no reason to.
Yeah, the only thing that'll keep him from hitting the field is an injury. Knock on wood, nothing happens in that situation. But yeah, him being our highest pick, he's inked in on that roster.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I got to ask, obviously, middle linebackers is one of the most important positions on the field in general, especially defense. Is that hard for a rookie to kind of man that spot on day one?
We've seen a lot of guys do it. It's just a matter of how bad does he want it. I think he's played well enough in his college career to be worthy of the pick that he's gone at. And I think if he's not ready, they'll give him enough of the playbook so that he is ready, and they can figure it out along the way. He's got whatever offseason of OTAs we had, he's got full training camp to go with. You'll be amazed to see how much you can learn during the process of training camp. So it shouldn't be that hard. He'll get a few full battles during the preseason game, so to test it. So, I'm just anxious to see him get out there and do his thing.
Yeah, man, and making an adjustment from where he was in college to where he is now. We're talking about one of the top tacklers in the SEC. Without a doubt. So we already know that conference in itself is producing, some of the best players in the NFL at this moment. So him making that transition and him going in to be a general, especially on the defense, hey, it's not going to be a problem. Like you said, if he's picked that high, they know he's got the skill set. They know he's got what it takes to be a leader, be out there on the field. You don't get somebody in the first round to be a kitty cat. That ain't how it works in the NFL. You know what I mean? You just don't. So, we're bringing a guy in who's going to be able to call the defense, put everybody in the right position, defensive line. That's a big position, to be in. So he could definitely do it, man. That's why you got him at that pick.
And Eric, you played with Derrick Johnson, one of the best to ever put on a Chiefs uniform, and he stepped right in from his rookie year.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Exactly.
could you tell right away, like, oh, this kid's not your normal rookie, or like you didn't even realize he was a rookie because he was just kind of
with
filled that
DJ?
role? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, heck, when he first padded up, he's so fast you don't realize it because DJ wasn't the most cut up, linebacker. He wasn't just built like a linebacker. He didn't have the muscles, but once he laced that, those shoes up, put that helmet on, he shoots out like a bullet.
I had to laugh. You said that, Eve, because I'm just thinking about DJ, man, when he was doing sit-ups, he would always run. He'd be like, and I don't know if he was playing and stuff. He's funny too. It's just who he is. But it looked like it was just killing him to do it, man. But once he, like you said, once he strapped up, that joker, man, he'd be running everywhere, all across the field.
He's kind of like Willie Rowe. When you look at Willie when he's walking, man, you think to yourself, how in the hell is this dude an all-pro lineman? Like he can barely walk, and all of a sudden, he lays him up. It's a different animal.
Yeah.
And you see DJ, man, DJ might have two muscles in his entire body. But when it comes to play, you won't find a better linebacker.
Yeah. Well, I'll say he developed a little bit later, but when he came in from Texas, man, his rookie year, Joker didn't look you like, who's this? This the guy you got? Oh man, like we're gonna get our heads beat in. But like you said, man, he athletic. You just can't tell it. Some guys, when you look at them, they don't look the part. I'm not saying that DJ didn't quite look the part.
Yeah, you can't. I won't say that at all.
Yeah. But you're thinking that. Yeah. You're thinking that he got muscles on the top of his neck. You know what I'm saying? Pecs out to here. Just look like a superhero. And DJ, man, just
That's funny. And so with the rookie linebacker we have with Bolton, and we also the second-year guy Willie Gay. I mean, it looks like on paper the Chiefs have the two inside backers for the future, and hopefully we can start seeing that in a week or so. So, okay, so our final topic tonight. This is something that I was thinking about. It's like how I felt before the weeks before reporting to training camp in college or in high school, going to the 3 days. I was always like that last week. Like partying with my friends. I'm like, oh man, this is it. Summer's over. The last week before getting to training camp. What do you guys do? Because I know I asked you guys about the bye weeks. You guys go to Vegas for bye weeks. But the week before training camp, what does that look like for you? I mean, because I got to imagine it's kind of bittersweet. Summer's kind of over. You've got to go check in for work for the next 5 months. What is the last week?
Oh, the week before?
Yeah.
The week before, you better have your ass in a gym. Because you already know what day 1 and day 2 is going to be like. Back when, damn, I hate to date us, but yeah, back in our days, we still had 2-a-days in training camp, so we had to be ready.
It wasn't that long ago, but go ahead.
But it is and it is and it ain't,
Right.
So, yeah, you still had 2-a-days, so you had to have the energy, the stamina, the lung capacity. I mean, yeah, we couldn't just walk in off the street, straight from the club. That wasn't possible. And then a lot of other teams have a what do they call that? I know they do the 300 shuttle. So if you don't pass the shuttle, you're not able to practice with the team until you pass it. There's a lot of teams that still do that, just to make sure that you weren't pissing off your time before you came into training camp. But we didn't do that with the Chiefs. We got out there and we had day 1 to get our things ready. So but yeah, I think I'd pretty much die if I had to go out there and do a 300 shuttle right before camp.
Well, and what you're looking for, conditioning test. It's conditioning.
Exactly.
Test.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Couldn't get it out.
Yeah, and it's so funny because when you get up there, you better run it. You start asking everybody like, man, have you been working out this whole? Somebody like, man, hell no, man. I don't know if I'll make it or not. What about you? So there's some guys who may not work out as much as other guys. And you just know if you beat him, you're gonna be good.
Yeah.
You can't be last. You just you gotta be somewhere like in the middle of the pack. But that last week, I always used to make this joke. They asked, like, how do you get ready for training camp? I said, so what I do is I take myself, put myself at the top of the steps, and I throw myself down the steps about 25 times. That's what I'm trying to do. Because all the hits that you take in camp, you know, all this, the beating and the bruising, like he said, you don't have to go through that now. I mean, sure, you could, you know, sit on the beach like I'm doing right here with a Mai Tai, you know, but as long as you get some sprints on the beach, you're good. So yeah, they don't hit anymore like that. And another thing, you know, you're trying to get everything down as far as like, okay, when am I going to take the camp? Because, you know, the beds ain't going to be comfortable. You already know that. So you're trying to get a nice little mattress. You're trying to get everything where you're not really packing a whole lot, but still enough where you're going to be comfortable, right? Because, you know, you're just going to have a lot of tossing and turning, sleeping nights, man. It's just that's what it is, man. Camp is just one of those things, man. It mentally, it drains on you because you just know you're looking at 4 weeks of like just hard football.
Yeah.
You know, lack of sleep, pain, all of that. And so, you know, you just got to mentally be prepared and just be ready. But yeah, like guys going out to Vegas and stuff, like, look, I get trying to get that last bit of vacation in. But the week before, I don't see that.
No.
I don't see that at all.
You know, the good thing with us is that, you know, Billy Long and Jeff Hurd, they always had the doors open. So at the training facility. So you can go down there every day and get your good workout in and get prepared right for those days. But yeah, like you said, you just want to make sure you got all your essentials, you know, maybe extra shampoo, lotion, soap, you know, and, you know, take a pillow and blanket. And when you get there, heck, we all usually head on down to Walmart or Target anyway, just to, you know, take everything out of this store and make sure that our room is up to par to get us through camp. So,
yeah. You know, it was funny. So I'm gonna tell you what happened with this camp. I always got to tell the story. So Coach Ramil, you know, as soon as I get to camp, you know, you always have to weigh at a certain amount. You know, certain guys, you know, you had to be at a certain amount. I know he probably had to worry about this. You know, you can see he athletic guy. You probably can't even put on weight right now. To be, you know, I don't care how much.
Yeah, I wish.
Yeah,
I'm trying to lose 10.
But so I come to the camp, and so, you know, Coach Ramil sees me. You know, he's looking at me and says, "Oh, Jason, you've been working out hard this summer. Oh, you look good." I'm like, "Yeah, thanks, Coach. I appreciate it." So me and Willie Roaf, you know, we're sitting over looking at each other. Me and Willie knew, you know, we might have been a little bit more heavy than what we needed to be. And so, you know, once you get there, they put you into, like he was saying, into a group where they're going to whip you into shape. I don't care, like you got to do all the regular practices, but you got just extra. And so Coach Ramil sees me and Willie at dinner, comes in the meeting late at night. And he's like, you know, I had 2 guys come in, and I'm looking at them. He lied to me in my face. He lied to me. I'm turned. I'm looking at Willie. Willie looking at me. I'm like, man, he talking about me. He's like, no, he talking to you. He said, both their ass came out of shape. Came in here out of shape. I was like, oh man, I've been running, but I was probably about a good 8 pounds over. You know what I mean? So that was the funny part, man. Coach Ramil. Now look, Coach Ramil would tell you the absolute truth. Yeah, look, he didn't mix words with you. None of that. He gonna tell you the truth. So yeah, man. Training camp is something else. It's one of those things, man. You can't forget. You've been through it, man.
Yeah, man. I know that weight class thing. I played with Chester McLaughlin. You know, right the rest of the soul. Yeah. But Chester would just automatically write a check, $5,000, because he knew he was gonna be overweight every single time. He just said, you know, I'll write a check and just take it out of my check. So, but when it came to playing, that dude was a monster out there in the middle.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And so he just cut the check. You all just knew it. Like, look, man, I ain't gonna make weight.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't try to get me to make weight. I'm just gonna cut you the money right now.
Yep.
Yeah. I tell you, man, look, when training camp starts, we're gonna have to tell some training camp stories. There's some good stories during that time. So
man, we got a few.
As far as the conditioning tests, because in college, each position groups had their own certain tests to make. They had to meet a certain time. Was it just flat? There's a flat times for all position groups, or is like each group
is going to have a certain. Offensive linemen are going to make the same as the skill guys, and so, which is crazy because when I got to New England, the fastest guy to get through the shuffle drill was Mike Vrabel.
Wow.
Always in the lead for every group.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Man.
Skill set. That's a skill set right there.
Well, was Waters pretty? He was a pretty agile guy. I mean, he kind of played all over the field. I mean, he was kind of an agile dude for a big dude at the line.
Brian?
Yeah.
Oh, Brian was a weight room guy. Now, as far as running, you didn't get him to run nowhere.
Oh.
Yeah. He would, but no what?
Then look, B. Waters, man, he played tight end. He came in as a tight end and like a fullback. So he had some agility to him.
A lineman when he got to Kansas City.
But he played tight end in college.
I know that, but when he got to Kansas City, he was straight O-line.
Right. Yeah. But he's a little dimbo on the feet, But yeah, now if you had to do him like running some more like conditioning, like longevity, oh yeah, he ain't about to do that.
I mean, he ain't gonna let you down running wise. He gonna do what was asked of him. Mm-hmm. But the running thing's not for him. Now the weight room, he'll compete against some of the bigger guys around. So
yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, I had to say he might have been the strongest one in the weight room.
Yeah,
while seeing it, yeah, for sure.
He had the little T-Rex arm, so he ain't had to go very far recover.
And I want to say he participated in like a Pro Bowl like skills challenge for bench reps. Where one year they did that. I think he was one of the participants of that.
Yeah, he's a monster on the bench.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they didn't do that many times. I remember like that. I have this vision in my mind of him doing like the bench press like competition. They didn't do it much, obviously, because I don't think it's been around in years. But yeah, that was I'm pretty sure he participated in that. I'm gonna try to look through the archives to find the video of that. All right, well, yeah, I'm looking forward to the training camp stories as we get into training camp. I was gonna do that tonight, but no. I want to know what was going on before you guys got into training camp, like this final week. I feel like for me, it was like, I always thought my summer was over. I was like, okay, man, this is time. Because we had workouts and stuff throughout the summer, but once the first week of August came, it was 2 days, 3 days. And that was, and that was it. Summer was over essentially for me. But I was curious if that was the same way, the same kind of feeling in the NFL.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Now,
go ahead.
No, I was going to shift gears here. Do we have fan guests tonight?
We do. We got a Green Bay fan. We have a Tennessee fan. Then we have a Kansas City fan. Real quick, all right. So these are my brothers, all right, brother-in-law. So they here. So I'm gonna bring them in real quick, all right.
Let's do it.
This is my brother Charles. All right.
What's up, fellas?
Hey, what's up? It's my brother John. How you doing? All right.
How y'all doing?
Good. How are you doing?
And this is O right here.
How you doing?
Okay.
Brother-in-law family. Okay.
Nice.
So Tennessee fan. All right.
Yes.
Tennessee Titans fan.
Yes.
My brother right here, Kansas City, of course. We got O right here for Green Bay Packers. He's a Packers fan. So y'all remember Eric Warfield, right?
Yeah. Are y'all from these areas that y'all root for?
No. Yes. That's where we live at. Yeah. I'm from New Jersey. I don't know. I live close to Tennessee.
Oh, okay. So I get that. And you live Green Bay? Do you live in Wisconsin or something?
Oh no. I'm from New Jersey.
Jersey?
Yeah.
Man, how in the heck are you not like a Giants or a Bills fan or maybe an Eagles?
Jets. Maybe the
Jets
too. Can never do it. Never
Jets.
did. No,
okay.
This is
y'all
Marcus.
Y'all about to be disappointed when y'all lose Aaron Rodgers, huh?
We ain't gonna lose Aaron Rodgers.
He gone already.
Nah.
I was trying to get some better lighting. I don't know where to get better lighting, man.
That's it.
Oh, I can see him real good.
Yeah, good? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll get into the fact. Go ahead, Marcus. Go ahead.
I was just going to ask, how are you feeling about the Julio Jones, AJ Brown, and Tannehill combination going into next year?
Awesome. That's the best thing ever happened to Tennessee in a while.
Yeah, I would agree.
No, Derrick Henry's the best thing to happen to Tennessee.
Well, he is. He's real good. Yeah. But all together like that, since McNair and all them, then it's another team.
So you think y'all got enough to get past Kansas City?
So what?
You think y'all got enough to get past Kansas City?
Yes, definitely. No,
because of Julio?
No. Yeah, with Julio. Yes, definitely with Julio.
So my brother right here, Charles, says no. You know.
Charles knows what's up. That's all.
Of course. Even though I live in Atlanta.
Oh, Lord.
I always go to Atlanta football games and I always have an Atlanta hat on, but a Kansas City jersey on. Kansas City jersey. Everybody say I'm confused. I said, nope, I'm not.
That's hilarious.
Represent KC. So y'all have a question they want to ask?
Yeah, I got a question.
Okay.
Now, who has the best defense in the league right now? Who do y'all think is in the league? And Kansas City's out of it.
I mean, just thinking back on it,
for this year,
I don't know if you want to say AFC, NFC, but right now, to me, Buffalo has a really good defense.
Yes.
Cleveland's got a really good defense by adding Clowney.
Yeah.
And who else? I think the Rams have really. It's hard not to put Aaron Donald in any conversation when you mention defense. So, but I think the Rams and Chicago both have been defensive minded the last couple of years with the NFC. But you still got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who's got everybody back from their Super Bowl winning team. So you can't count them out either.
Oh no.
Yeah, I need to say, man, probably Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay will probably, to me, just what they were able to do, who they have as far as just all-around defense, plus with the coaches, right? Because you can't take the coaches out of the element. So I would say probably Tampa Bay was one of the top ones. But maybe the best defense, maybe on paper, maybe you could look at Cleveland, right? The Browns may be just on paper in itself. Then, of course, LA is always going to be in a conversation, like you said, with them Ramsey and Donald out there, man. So, Buffalo. But Buffalo to me, man.
Buffalo is underrated, man. Buffalo to me, they don't have a big name guy on their defense, but they got a stout defense. Like them boys can play.
Mm-hmm. They out there hitting.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'll say underrated, but I don't know. I'm not really impressed with Buffalo. I'm just not. I'm just that's big. I'm just not impressed with them at all. So
they were a good defense last year, and then this year they brought in the draft in the first 3 rounds. They brought in a lot of pass rushers, and they didn't really have many of those last year. And they got your boy. What was his name? Who's the rookie you wanted out of Wake Forest?
Yeah, Rashawn Basham. Basham out there.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Marcus, I'm sure you've looked up the stats right now. Who's the top 5 defense?
Top 5 defense going into the next season. I saw a list that had Saints and Buccaneers as top 2 in different lists.
Saints?
Yeah. Saints were amongst the top. We didn't list, but Saints and Bucks were amongst the top 2 in most of the lists I saw.
Okay. But what about the AFC?
AFC, I did not. I didn't scroll home. Let me see the projected list. Projected. defensive rankings. Buffalo's up there in one of the lists I'm seeing here.
I mean, you get a healthy what's my man name? Von Miller, him and Chubb. So
yeah. Buffalo and Cleveland are amongst the top lists I'm seeing right now.
Okay, so I call them pretty good.
You know your defense.
But I got Charles. You got it.
So what's the best offense now?
Oh, come on.
Kansas City out of it?
Yeah.
Come on now. Come on now. Look, you know your Chiefs concerns, right? You know, come on. Now look, he's a huge Aaron Rodgers fan, right? Huge Aaron Rodgers fan. And I've told him that Patrick Mahomes is a better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers. Oh, that's my opinion on everything, really. I think because of what Aaron can do, the throws that he makes, what positions, from what angles. I mean, look, not taking anything away from Aaron, but I just believe that Patrick's a better quarterback.
Man, they both have amazing arms. They both got, amazing talent. Patrick has come in and won a Super Bowl at a younger age and has a longer career to add more rings to his fingers. But as far as offense, even if I'm not a former Chiefs player or a Chiefs fan, it's hard to not put them at number one. Even with the bad play that they had in the Super Bowl. So with that being said, I'm going to stick with them number one. It's hard to count Tampa Bay out with what Tom Brady does and brings to the table. Other than that, I don't really see another offense out there that's going to put up those kind of numbers.
So Julio Jones is not helping the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, it made him a lot better.
He's going to help, but what is that going to do? That doesn't. I don't think that makes him an unstoppable offense, though.
Okay.
With the
I would say he's top 10.
With the QB situation in New England and Denver, which quarterback battle are you most looking forward to seeing?
Okay, nothing against Cam Newton. I'm just not on that ship to say that he's what the New England Patriots need. I know he was hurt last year. I know he was hurt the year before. And they claim that he doesn't have the weapons out there in New England. Just my perception on his career. I know he made it to the Super Bowl, outstanding year that year, but they had a great defense, had some great talent offensively. I'm just not sold on him at a starting quarterback. That's just my opinion.
Who was a starting quarterback?
They're looking again for the guy from Alabama. What's Matt?
Matt Jones.
They are ways away. He's a ways away.
But you never know, though, JD. Some players in the right situation, blossom a lot quicker than they were picked to be. So,
Name me one QB from Alabama that just came in and tore it up.
Brody Croyle.
Yeah, look, bro, hey, that's my heart. That's my dog. I love Brody to death. Look, Alabama quarterbacks hadn't really had a great careers in the NFL, right?
But it's not fair to not give him a chance, though. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I do think it's underrated the Broncos situation between Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater. I think Teddy Bridgewater goes there and is a game manager. I think Denver's a tough team with that good defense, and then you put a quarterback who's not going to make mistakes in there. I think they could be all right.
Bridgewater makes it significantly better,
and there's a good chance they might get Aaron Rodgers.
No, they can't get it out. They can't get it out. So, who is your sleeper team this year? You take out all the powerhouses already. Take out Tampa Bay, Kansas City. Those are the known people. But who's your sleeper team coming in?
Tennessee Titans.
This season.
See, I don't think Tennessee can get past Cleveland, though. I don't think Tennessee can get past Buffalo.
I disagree with that.
Buffalo, that'd be hard. Buffalo,
okay, that's Jason. That's your opinion. I mean, mine is I don't put. So I'm gonna go with KC, Cleveland, Baltimore, for the AFC, just AFC. And Tennessee, and I still like, Ben Roethlisberger over there in Pittsburgh. I put Baltimore in, didn't I?
Yeah, you put Baltimore in.
Put them as third.
As you should.
Yeah. So right now, Tennessee is, I hate to say it, but they're my fifth best in the AFC.
Now, I ain't heard nobody mention Miami.
Too young. A lot of talent, but too young.
Mm-hmm. Got a little time. They got a little time. I like Tua. Tua's going to take some time to develop. They got some good guys down there right now. But like you said, that's a good one. They're young down there.
Yep.
A sleeper squad. I don't know if it's a sleeper squad because we list them as one of the better defenses. Is the Rams with Matt Stafford? I think that takes it to a whole other level.
Yes.
It's good.
I agree.
Yeah. Watching boys come out of Philly too now. We'll see what they're gonna do. They might surprise people. We'll see.
I'm excited. Hurts will be fun.
Yeah. Of course, everybody's gonna look. I'm looking for Dak to do a good job down there in Dallas too. So they might be like that sleeper team to kind of come in, and revamp everything they've been doing the past couple of years. So we'll see. They
did nothing with their defense. So I think Dallas was one of the worst defenses in the league last year. So you gonna try to count on Dak to put up 40, 50 points a game?
He got the weapons around him to do it. He's got the weapons.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll definitely see.
Dak got hurt this year, or last year.
Last year.
Matter of fact, I think I can't even say that the Washington football team is going to win that conference.
Yeah.
It's magic.
It's possible.
Yeah.
They did good last year. They were coming on strong. So
Better than expected anyway.
They played better against the Bucs than the Chiefs did in the playoffs.
You damn right about that.
Unfortunately.
Well, man, I appreciate it. Like I said, I had to bring my brothers on. Was down here. I was just like, look, with being down here in the beautiful paradise in Mexico, man, just enjoying yourself, enjoying family, loving one another, having a great time. We just wanted to come out here and do the show, man.
Man, we appreciate y'all coming on. So is everybody married?
Thank you. Thanks for letting us on, man. Yes.
Is everybody married?
So anybody married?
Everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I was gonna give y'all my Snapchat. I want to see some video footage.
I want to see that.
Right.
I'm trying to see what the after party is gonna look like.
Right. Hey, look, they cutting the rug down here now. Yeah, they cutting the rug down here. Oh yeah.
Well, man, y'all be careful out there. Be safe. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Appreciate it,
Come on, guys.
All
right.
All right.
Well, that was cool. That was cool having the family. I thought we were getting to know Jay's family more each week. I love it, man.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, I'm the youngest out of 11, so you just my own member of them. It's a good time. It's about 10 of us down here, so yeah, we're really enjoying it, man. We got a nice house, a villa right on the beach. We got full service bar, so we decided to do it right, man. Do it right.
That's what's up. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Make the most of it.
That's right. Live life loving it, man.
Yes, sir.
Only way to do it.
Oh yeah.
Send me a Snapchat later on, JD.
I got you. Look.
What's up, sir?
There's a Snapchat right there.
I got something for you, though, E.
Man, y'all be safe out there. I'm about to hang out. Y'all take it easy, Mark.
All right, fellas. All right, man. See you guys. All right, and that does it for us. Thanks for tuning in to Chief Concerns presented by BetOnline. As always, if anyone in Chiefs Kingdom has any Chief Concerns for these guys, please tweet at us at @ConcernsChief, and please subscribe and follow Chief Concerns on YouTube, the Believe Podcast Network, or any place a podcast can be found. And if anyone wants to be a guest on our show, just drop us a DM or on Twitter or email us at chiefconcerns@yahoo.com. For everything else, we'll see you next week, guys.